Hello, and in this video I would like to show the carburetor K60B. You can see here it's written K60B, but because it's in Russian then letter B is pronounced as letter V, so K60B. As you can see, I've taken the carburetor apart, and in this video I put it back together while I explain the parts, what they do, and so on. So this is the carburetor body. You have air inlet from here. This is where air filter goes with a rubber grommet on a carburetor. This is the engine connection. It is connected to the engine with the gasket here on the flange. Then on the body you have two screws. This one is for idle RPM adjustment and this one is for the fuel consumption adjustment. Then this is the inside. This is where the choke shaft goes with the valve. This is where the gate goes. And underneath, of course, there is a bowl. In the bowl you have, like usually, the floater. This is the jet. You can take it out with a screwdriver and replace it with other diameter jet if you want to. I never done this, but it's possible. Then you have here on the side a push button to fill the bowl with fuel. That when the fuel level is low, then you push this button and the air will come out and the fuel from the tank will flow into the carburetor bowl. And when fuel starts to come out through this button on the outside, then you know that the bowl is full and then you are ready to start the engine. This is the floater. Here on the floater you have a small lever that will operate the needle valve inside here. Sorry about that. That's the needle valve. And it goes into the hole in there. Then you have bowl gasket. All these gaskets you can get as a separate overhaul kit, but beware that these gaskets are all very thin and sometimes it's problem to get them to seal up either the bowl or the cover on top here. So you sometimes have to make your own gaskets because the quality of these sets is very poor. The bowl goes on like this. Then you have two screws. You have a shorter screw and a longer screw, and you can see on one side you can put the short screw and on the other side you can put the long screw. Then on top you have the choke spindle. It is spring loaded, so if you, I don't know if it will stand like this, no. And then this is the choke, so the spindle goes through and then you put it inside the choke flap, and you can see here is like a small flat area, and on the shaft here you also have a flat area. They have to go together. That's the only way you can put them together, so there is no possible to make a mistake with that. On top. Let's put them, yes. And here you have a small hole where you insert the spring. And now it is assembled. There is one more part, but I will show it a little bit later. And you can see choke here. It's working. It's spring loaded, always keeping it open. And at the moment it's not possible to lock the choke in closed position because one part is at the moment missing. I will show it in a minute. Then first you have to put in this gate. Here on the gate you have the place where you connect the throttle cable. So the throttle cable is connected here, and if you twist the throttle, then you pull the gate up. When you release the throttle, it goes down, and this is the throttle return spring. When you twist the throttle, you lift the gate against the spring, loading the spring, and when you release the throttle, it will push the gate down. And the down is less RPM and up is more RPM or more fuel and air to the engine. So first goes in the gate, and one thing about the gate, you can see it has like a angled part, and this is where the idle RPM screw is connected. So the screw goes like this. So if you screw it in, it will lift the gate a little bit more, or if you screw it out, then it lowers the gate, and that's the way you adjust the RPMs. So first goes in the gate, it's in there, and now comes the mechanism for the operation of the choke and release of the choke. So it is like just a spring-loaded lever like this, and it goes in there like this. So it is spring-loaded. And now I can show you how the choke actually works. So here is the choke lever, and if you engaging the choke, then you go all the way, and then this small lever will lock the choke in closed position. You can see it's closed, and right now, because of this lever, I cannot release it. And releasing is so that when you turn the throttle, then you lift this gate, and the gate will come here and touch this small lever, which will operate so that it will release the choke, and the choke will be in open position. And now a small thing that is usually missing from this carburetor, especially if you purchased a pre-used bike or only get the carburetor from somewhere, then this clip is usually missing. I don't know why, but I had so many times that this clip is missing. You have problems with the carburetor, you want to replace it, you get a new one, a used one, and if you don't know that you have to have this clip, then you think it's fine, but you still get a bad carburetor. And the clip has two purposes. First of all, you see these notches here. They go on a shaft of the choke, so that the shaft cannot come out. Yeah? So it keeps the shaft in place. And in this end, you have this dip that will keep this lever that releases the choke or locks the choke in place. If you don't have this, this lever will just come out of its seat, and then the choke doesn't work properly and the carburetor doesn't work properly. You always have to adjust it, and you get strange problems and so on. And it goes in here. You just press it on, and that's how it looks like. It's pressed on. Now the shaft cannot come out, and this lever is locked in place. Then don't forget the spring. You put it inside here, and in the cover you can see there is a small notch. This is where the spring goes. You press it down, and then you have a screw that you screw down and seal the cover. Then you have on top here small adjustment ability for a throttle cable. You can do adjustment here as necessary. And final part is the fuel connection. This is how it looks like, and inside the fuel connection you have filter built in, and this filter also serves as a gasket when you want to seal this connection against the body. I use inline filter as well, because this one you cannot see is it dirty or not, so I always put the inline filter in. They are transparent and you can see when filter starts to get dirty, and it's easy to diagnose a problem. Because if you have some kind of fueling problems, then you have to take this one out and check it. It's not a lot of work, but inline filter is much easier. And this fuel connection is on. So before you tighten the screw, you can choose a little bit the direction of the fuel connection. So maybe you reroute the fuel line or whatever, you want to do something else. It doesn't have to be up, it can be on various positions. And then you tighten down the screw and you are all done. So this is how this carburetor works. The parts that are inside, it's quite simple carburetor, nothing to be afraid of. One thing about the prices is that in my place they are new 40 to 50 euros. I don't know, it's expensive or not, but I've always ordered them from AliExpress and I get them from 13 euros, some cents up to 14, 15 euros. And the quality is no better, no worse than you get it from Russia or somewhere else. Right now it's not possible to get from Russia, of course, but and they've been always working. Even new carburetor, don't adjust anything. I put them on engines and they work pretty much straight out of the box. You maybe a little bit have to adjust RPMs and maybe adjust the fuel consumption if it's too rich or too lean. And very simple things to use. Nothing special, I think, about them. So quite okay carburetors. And as far as I know, they have been used on mopeds up to 50 cubic centimeters. I've never seen them on bigger engines than that. Maybe if you change the jet inside, they can be used. I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyhow, widely used carburetor on Russian smaller engines. That was all I wanted to say in this video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next videos.